So today we're going to be doing a myth busting session on concussion. And the reason why we're doing this is that there's quite a lot of old information and misinformation that's actually out there, just purely because concussion, actually we're learning quite a lot over even just the last few years with a lot of new up-to-date research. And today is just to give you the most up-to-date information, to understand what concussion is, but also the best way to actually get the most out of your symptomatic relief in the short and the long term. So the first myth is I need to actually have impact onto my head to actually cause a concussion. And that's actually false. All you need is actually enough force of acceleration or deceleration. And then what it actually does is it creates a stretching or a shearing of the neurons or the brain tissue to cause concussion. One way actually easily to actually create that force is actually having direct impact, but you don't actually need to have the impact to cause the concussion. Another myth is my concussion is actually worse if I lose consciousness, and that's actually false. So there's actually no research showing that if you lose consciousness that you'll actually have worse symptoms or a more progressed outcome compared to someone who actually didn't lose consciousness. Also, having an increase in my symptoms is actually bad, and I should be just really resting and avoiding those symptoms. And this is false. It's actually shown that the truth is that if you gradually and respectfully increase your physical and mental load, you actually have a better short and long-term outcome compared to someone who completely rests. So at the SSG, what we do is we actually will give you a lot of advice on how to actually respectfully and safely gradually increase your cognitive and physical load in a respectful manner so that you actually can just gradually start to progress and ease your symptoms. Another myth is if I have no symptoms and I should be cleared to return to sport, especially contact sport. And that's actually false. And the reason being is that most people will actually resolve most of their symptoms within the first 7 to 10 days. What actually happens is that the brain tissue actually takes roughly around 22 to 30 days to fully heal. During this period, we're in what's called a vulnerable period where if you actually return to sport and you actually have another direct hit or you have another concussion, it actually can create an accumulative effect. So you can actually have symptoms for longer and actually worsen symptoms. And in really rare cases, it actually can cause death. So it's really important to be respectful of this vulnerable period, which can usually take a good sort of 3 to 4 weeks.